If someone was in my position and they were like me, knowing that they don't like to ask for help, I would just tell them to relax and go and get their help. It's there.
Southern Smoke Foundation is a nonprofit that provides crisis relief funding and access to no-cost mental health care for the food and beverage industry. We started Southern Smoke back in 2015 as a fundraiser for a friend of ours who was diagnosed with MS. He's a sommelier. We wanted to do something that was impactful, and so we called our friends and said we were gonna do this thing, and we had no idea what we were doing. But, I think restaurant people have a way of figuring that out, and Chris's whole staff sort of pulled together, and we threw this amazing party. We raised $180,000 that first year, and so then the next year we did it again. And then year 3, that's when Hurricane Harvey hit. Restaurants were closed for 2 weeks, people were flooded, people lost cars. The focus of Southern Smoke Foundation changed to emergency relief. And we very slowly, quietly became a national organization because Houston is not unique to crisis, and the food and beverage industry doesn't have a safety net.
It's not an industry of saving money, really. It's an industry of doing what you love and trying to make your career out of it, and it's a long-term career. The thought is that people just work in restaurants to get by until they do something else, and that's definitely changed over the past 10, 15 years, where this is a career. This is what people are choosing to do and need to be treated as such.
I've been with McDonald's for over 20 years, and McDonald's was my first job. It was a domestic violence incident that happened to me. A gun was drawn on me in the midst of my kids being with me. I was going to work, having days where I was just crying, and I was like, I just need time off from work. I had been dealing with it for so long. Multiple court days. I had to go leave one courtroom to go to another one to go and get my TPO. After getting my TPO started, I had to go and get multiple police reports. It caused me to miss a lot of days from work, a lot of time. I sat and did the application, and it tells you it got up to 2 weeks to respond. Southern Smoke responded in less than 3 days, and the amount they gave me just had me crying. You're looking for help and you need the help. It's okay to go and get you some help.
Everybody always said leave it at the door, right? You can't leave things at the door. I used to say that all the time. Leave it at the door. Leave your problems outside. That doesn't work. You carry that with you no matter what.
We're always looking for ways to get people funded. We will, verify your employment and confirm that you do indeed work in the industry and fit our qualifications, which are working in the industry for 6 months at 30 hours a week. If you haven't been in the industry for 6 months, just come back to us in a month when you hit that 6-month time frame. Again, we are looking for ways to fund you. We have funded everything from bikes getting stolen. Our chief mission officer has negotiated someone's car out of repo.
We get as creative as we can to help people with what their crisis is. And if that means negotiating, we'll do it. So we have to remember that if you lose your job, if you're injured, if you undergo any kind of hardship, the impact is real time. Speed is crucial.
A few years ago, I was working at Roberta's Pizza, and we was going out of business. They let us know kind of late. It just so happened on this day that they did let us know somebody from Southern Smoke came and was dropping off cards. Well, so I decided I was gonna give them a call. I got a big family, 6 kids, a wife, so it's 8 of us. Yeah, so I can't afford to be unemployed. And a week or 2, they had me the funds that I needed. I was able to provide food and shelter for my family.
A lot of times, having that access to the funds quickly is what is going to keep that person from facing homelessness or not getting the treatment that they need. Mental health and financial crisis go hand in hand. Our mental health program, it's called Behind You. We've been able to partner with universities. We work with their clinical program teams And then we're able to provide them with grants so that we can then provide services to the individual at no cost.
When you're concerned that you're not going to be able to support your family, you can't pay your rent, worried about when you're going to be able to work again, I think those are really terrifying experiences for anybody. You know, bartenders have to listen to people's tales of woe. Sometimes it's very nice to be able to just have somebody to talk to where you get to share your tales of woe.
Each person gets 20 free sessions or 6 months of counseling, whichever happens first.
You can have no-cost therapy without having a conversation about it with anybody. And I think that that is what helps to break down those barriers, because there's such a stigma behind mental health, and there should not be. It is no different than having a cold or your back hurting. It's the same thing.
We have to remember that anything can be a massive setback. And you just don't really ever know what's happening behind the smile of that person handing you that beverage or that beautiful plate of food. Everyone who works in the industry, if they meet our guidelines, will be eligible, will take care of everything else. So that is truly a farmer or a fry cook worker. That's an owner operator. You're not taking away from your employees by asking for help too.
Southern Smoke Festival is still our largest fundraiser of the year. We have 70 chefs, we have wine bars, we have bartenders, we've got live music, we have cookbook signings. It's such a fun day.
It's the greatest day of the year every year. And we say it all the time, like in the food and beverage industry, we're there to take care of everybody. But who takes care of us? And this is where it goes back to taking care of us as an industry. It's a beautiful day.
Me being open what really has me emotional like this, so I kind of enjoy it. I'm just so shocked and teary-eyed to be able to share my story.